Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cashback. Hey guys, welcome to episode 1 of season 4 of the Achieve and Leave series here on FIFA 19, and as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, you guys voted, and you voted in favour of me moving to Manchester United, and we're going to screenshot in the background the final results of the vote. 2,226 votes in total, 697, 31% of which going for Manchester United. All three Premier League sides topping out ahead of the Germans, and by a margin of 66 votes, we shall take over at Manchester, or we have taken over at Manchester United. And boy, are we going to have some fun with this season in the save, because I've quite the transfer budget. We'll get to that in a moment. I'll show you the squad that we have at present. Starting with a 4-3-3 formation. David De Gea in goal, as you might expect. The back four is entirely new. Alexandro, Matthijs de Ligt, Kimpembe and Dani Carvajal. The midfield is Alan, Pogba and Fred. And then up top, Lukaku, Anthony Martial on the left, with Lucas Vazquez as the highest rated right-sided midfielder on that right side. That's a very strong starting 11, but there are three clear areas that could do with improving. Right-sided midfield and two central midfield areas. On the bench, they have Romagnoli as well, 87 rated centre-back, so I really don't need to worry about centre-back positions in this transfer window. We have got Hugo Mayo at right-back as a backup. I've also got, where is he? Here, I'm actually on him. Diogo Dalot, who obviously we got in the career mode RTG at Cambridge. He's 86 rated in that series. He's only 79 here. We also have Nemanja Matic, although he's 32. Jesse Lingard is 28 now and only rated at 82, so he hasn't really grown that well. Alexis Sanchez is now 32 and 81 rated. We've got Rodrigo as a backup striker at 83 rated, and outside of that, there isn't really anyone of any real note. Players like Fellaini are still here, but really old. Juan Mata's 33 now. Actually, he's probably not that old. He's 33. Juan Mata's down at 79 and 33 years of age. There's no one else really of any real quality. We've got a 32-year-old Seamus Coleman here at right back. Some of the youngsters have grown quite well, like Timothy Fosu-Mensah is up at 79. Dean Henderson's up at 77 at goalkeeper. Got so many goalkeepers. So the main areas of contention for the starting squad are right wing and two central midfielders, because I want to improve in depth as well as the starting 11, because players like Matic, etc. are going to be sold, because I want them to basically just be moved on so I can raise as much money as possible, and I want to replace them with better players for the first team, so that players like Fred and Alan will drop to the bench and be reserve players. So we've got great strength in depth. They're in the Champions League, Manchester United. They finished third in the Premier League last year. So Champions League group stage is assured. We will be challenging on 4 fronts. I've got Lee Grant on the transfer list, Sergio Romero on the transfer list, Fellaini, Mata, Coleman, Sanchez, Matic, Mayo and O'Hara. All of which, apart from O'Hara, are over 30. Or 30 exactly, Hugo Mayo. So we can raise some decent money there. Actually, let me see. How much could we raise? Say 6, 10, 20, 25, 40, 50-ish, 60-ish. We could raise another 60-ish million pounds. That's not even factoring in the wages that they're on. Are you ready for my starting transfer budget? £267 million to begin with. And a wage budget of 571,000. We are going to have some fun in this window. Or, I've no idea where I want to spend with regards to the individuals. I know the positions you saw there, right wing and the two centre mid spots, are clearly the starting spot where we'd like to improve. Could maybe do with some better backup wing backs. Could maybe do with a better backup striker. I might consider selling Rodrigo. Maybe that's something we could wait until January before doing. But certainly want better midfielders. Certainly want better wingers. And certainly would like better wing backs as well. David De Gea will play every single game for me this season, so we don't need to worry about goalkeeper. Romagnoli's good enough to fill, or obviously good enough to play, and Marcus Rojo is probably good enough to be able to fill in for the occasional game as well, so we don't need to worry about centre-backs. But this side, despite being as strong as it looks, could certainly do with improving. We have a considerable amount of money to do that improving. Now, what do they want from me this year with regards our performance on pitch? One youth player to the senior team. The same season they were scouted, played them in 5 matches. We could probably do that, although I'm not going to put too much emphasis on the youth development because, as you can see, they're of a low importance to the board. We want to grow one youth academy player by at least 5 overall points. Probably not going to do that either. In fact, it literally just occurred to me that what I can do is put Rojo on the transfer list and bring in Edwards from Dortmund. Because, of course, he's the player that we're bringing with us throughout the save, due to him being our scout future starting season 1 at Chelsea, and he's grown tremendously well with training and off his own back. So I will try and sign Edwards in this episode. Actually, I didn't want to go in there. We know what that budget is. Wanted to continue on here. So brand exposure, that'll be easy money. We'll have made that by the end of September probably. No financial objectives whatsoever. Domestic success, win the league, win the FA Cup, win the Champions League. They want the treble. We're going to be dubbed Ole Gunnar CHESNOID, I think, this season. He was instrumental in them winning the treble in 1999. He's the current manager at Manchester United, and now we've taken over here in the career mode. So I'm going to go and immediately try and sign Henry Edwards from Dortmund. Someone mentioned in the comment section of the last episode that I could have maybe released him to try and sign him for free, but again, I think that's just bending the rules slightly too much. That's cheating. I'm quite happy to buy the player each time that I want to take him onto a different club. We're not going to have to pay too much for him, and quite frankly, we've got an incredible budget to be able to spend, so it doesn't matter how much they want for him. I'm going to be able to pay it quite comfortably. I will actually offer Rojo as part of the deal, and we'll see if they'd be willing to do that with an extra bit of money. They would. I'm certainly not paying 50 million. I propose a new transfer fee. How about 28? I'm just going to try and get them down, although to be fair, I have the money to be able to just splash quite a bit. So maybe we'll come up in rather large increments. I haven't yet advanced as far as getting to the pre-season tournament, so they could be up to probably about another 10. Oh wow, really? Could be up to another £10 million that we could potentially earn via the pre-season tournament as well, depending on. Oh, they're going to take some time to reconsider. All right, fair enough. I'll probably go up to. I mean, I could probably pay the 50, but I'd rather avoid it if I can. We shall see what you guys reckon are the players that we should go after in this save now, in this 4th season. We've played 1 season in the Premier League already with Chelsea, and we won it. We played a season in La Liga with Atletico Madrid, and we won it. We've played a season now in Germany with Dortmund. We didn't win the league, but we did win the Deutsche Pokal, so we've kept the run-up of winning at least 1 trophy in every season. And we'll hopefully continue that in this one now with Manchester United, and fingers crossed we'll make it the first season that we've won multiple trophies in any given year. I'm going to go, even though it's got a slightly lower prize fund, I think we stand a better chance of winning this tournament. So I'll pick that one, and we can hopefully get up to £10 million. Alan, well, I certainly do need. Right, I was unaware of that. I certainly do need central midfielders now because Alan has gone. Right, yeah, no, definitely need. Is that actually adjusting my transfer budget, my wage budget at all? No, not really. Okay. Well, I certainly need a number of central midfielders then for this save. But how much are we going to have to spend by the end of July? Transfer budget increase of 113 million. Thank you very much. Oh, they rejected by 42. Oh, they counted with 42.4. I'm happy to pay that. And what's he on a week? At the minute, 42,000. Well, you'll probably want a wage hike coming to Manchester United, but hopefully I'll counter that with rotation, because he will only be rotation. And if they'll accept that, great. No, okay, that's fine. He'll still play a decent amount of football with all of the various different competitions that we're involved in here at Manchester United. Obviously, on 4 fronts in England, and they're not going to give me an idea of what he wants wage-wise, so I'll offer just 60 million and not 9 million, 1.2 million as a sign-on fee, and hopefully he'll accept that straight away, and he has done. Great. first signing is in. Henry Edwards is in the squad. Wonderful. And that sees Marcus Rocco go the other way. So that's one of the players out already that we wanted to move out, and a player in that we certainly wanted to move in, because that's what we're doing throughout this entire save, is ensuring that we bring Henry Edwards with us. A number of players away on international duty at this particular moment in time. It's the Copa America at present, I believe, 2021. Why Henry Edwards is unavailable, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's Copa America. I'll have a quick check. Standings. Oh, it's the Confederations Cup. It's the Confederations Cup. Oh, and it's very nearly finished as well, so we don't need to worry about that. Right. Now, it's going to be a case of just trying to get in as much money as possible now with the player sales, and then we will hammer this transfer window. Once I've gotten your suggestions in the comment section of today's episode. Hamilton gets us a goal to go 1-0 up here against Al Nassr. It's a strong group, but it's not as strong as the group in the other pre-season tournament that had about 400,000 extra available for the prize fund. I certainly didn't want to play against Munich and Barcelona in that group stage. We're battering Al Nassr. I think we've got... who else was it in our group? Was it PSG were on our side of the group draw? Oh, it's Inter and Ajax. Okay, Inter and Ajax. Transfer offer for Hugo Mayo. Thank you very much. I'm tempted to just accept that off the bat, but I'll try and get a little bit more if I can. Not much. We don't need to be too brutal in the negotiations. We can just negotiate a little bit more if we want to, because we've got the money behind us to stack up, and they're quite willing to pay that. He is 30. Don't want to rinse them of everything, because we probably wouldn't get the money that we want. Don't know whether we'll get a transfer offer for Jesse Lingard. I'm going to say no to selling Jesse Lingard. He is a Manchester United kid through and through. I could maybe look to bring Marcus Rashford back. Actually, out of curiosity, let's see where Marcus Rashford is right now. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Rashford, where are you? Valencia. Marcus Rashford is at Valencia. He has a low release clause, but obviously with his valuation being 71.5, and me not really wanting to cheat the system with bugs in the game, I wouldn't exploit that. I wouldn't pay the 52.9. I would be realistic and pay upwards of his current valuation. But valued at 71.5, Marcus Rashford is 89 rated currently. Could be a player to bring in on the wings, perhaps. We signed him in the Newcastle United series earlier on this year in FIFA 19, and he was very good for me at striker. Transfer offer for Romelu Lukaku from Juve of 52 million. That's going to be rejected. Romelu Lukaku stays as my starting number one. I might consider, so I'm not sure how well I'm going to get on with Lukaku. I might consider selling him in January. That might be something we could do if I don't get on with him. But I am hoping, and I am hopeful, that I will click with Romelu Lukaku. We've got Anthony Martial on the left-hand side, and hopefully a new right-sided winger to come in on the right-hand side ahead of Lucas Vazquez. But Vazquez will be decent backup on that right side. I could play Jesse Lingard as a winger, perhaps. I could play Jesse Lingard as a winger. Romelu Lukaku actually gives us the 1-0 lead here, and subsequently the 1-0 win. So we're going through from the group stage, which is good news. Is that another transfer bid? It's not. It's Ethan Hamilton being disappointed that he didn't play. Sorry, pal. The squad is too strong for you right now. Hugo Mayo is sold, and a transfer offer for Nemanja Matic from Everton. £14.4 million. I shall try and negotiate that a little bit higher, potentially, but it's not that bad a bid already, to be fair. He's on 100 grand a week. He's 32 years of age, and they'll pay 17.5. I'm not going to be too boisterous in the transfer dealings with regards to outgoing older players, because it's pointless. We're going to have well over 300 million by the time everybody's sold. Oh, I'd like to think we'll have well over 100 million by the time 300 million by the time everybody's sold. Still waiting for bids, of course, for Alexis Sanchez, who is the most expensive player on the transfer list that we'd listed. We're definitely going to beat Ajax by a margin as well. So things looking good for us in pre-season here at Manchester United. I'd like to think that we could keep that going throughout the season. We do have youngsters like Chong that could play a part in first team football in like the Carabao Cup and the lesser group stage games of the Champions League, although he's only 75 rated or so, Chong, so he's not going to be amazingly good, but he will be able to play a part. We've got transfer for Fellaini now. I'm just going to accept that straight off the bat to Leeds United, and we've got 2.6 million added to the transfer budget thanks to that game, or thanks to progressing out of the group stage. I'm pretty sure we'll beat Al Ittihad, so and we're at full strength for this one. I don't know as we were for the previous one, were we? We might have been. I just wasn't fully paying attention. I was concentrating more on my commentary. Romelu Lukaku gives us a 1-0 lead in the 14th minute, and I would imagine that this will be pretty straightforward. He hopes. After we beat Al Nassr quite comfortably, and to be fair, we beat Ajax quite comfortably as well, actually. They've got an injury to their goalkeeper, which isn't going to help things. Fred is on fire in pre-season, it seems. His 3rd goal in 2 games. I can't remember whether he scored against Al Nassr or not. He may well have done. We've Roma in the final. Press conference, Matic sold, and 3 million added to our transfer budget via the semi-final win. And a transfer offer for Alexis Sanchez to potentially go back to Arsenal. Alexis back to the Emirates, perhaps. I shall ask for 20. They'll probably not match that, but they're not going to match that at all. Not even going to come close. As Alexis, I might have to check his contract because that bid was undervalued, wasn't it, by a margin. Martial needs his contract extension. So yeah, Alexis a year, Lukaku a year. That'll be why they offered 52 when he's valued at 54. Okay, whoa, Rodrigo's on 150 grand a week. Are you sure? Christ, maybe I would be open to selling Rodrigo, bringing in another striker. I'm not sure. Wait and see if we can raise some more funds. An offer for Kieran O'Hara. There's no point negotiating that any more than we have to. I might offer some new contracts around to a couple of players, so we saw they don't just leave on a free at the end of the season. Fellaini's gone, and now we can sim Roma. Oh, we're going to have so much money to spend. This is going to be my biggest transfer budget ever in any career mode that I've ever played, either on camera or off camera. Never have I had this amount of money to spend in a career mode in my life. As we approach half-time in the final, we're continuing on with our 1-0 lead thanks to De Ligt. Pogba makes it 2. And that should be us guaranteeing the full 10.1 or 10.2 million pounds that were available from this pre-season tournament. Indeed it is. That was a very convincing pre-season tournament for us. I'm delighted with that. Another 4.4, and they're pleased with the progress. Right, who have we got left to sell? Is it Alexis Sanchez and a couple of minimal players? Oh no, Alexis Coleman's 5, Mata's 9. Okay, we've still got quite a few we could sell. I might just accept any bids that come in now, to be fair. Just keep a close eye on the transfer window, see if any massive deals go through. No huge ones. Kazar was left Dortmund to go to Leverkusen. It's one of our former players leaving. But we'll advance a little bit further, see if I can get some more of those players sold before the end of the month. And 13.6 from Roma. I know I just said I might accept things straight off the bat, but I just the cheapo in me wants to try and get valuation. If they'll pay it, they'll go. For some reason, I just don't like selling things for less than they're worth, or less than they're supposedly worth. I don't know why. Transfer offer for O'Hara. He's going to be difficult to sell because he's on a lot of money, and other sides will struggle to be able to afford his wages. But if we can at least get Alexis out, then we can get that deal done before the end of the month of August, and Mata and Sergio Romero, etc., can go throughout the course of episode number 2. Sanchez is sold. Romero, they've offered 5.4. It's only 100 grand. I'm willing to stretch to 100 grand under valuation. It's not even worth my while going through the menus. Transfer for Romagnoli of 60 million, or thereabouts. No thank you from Paris Saint-Germain. We're very nearly at the end of August now. We'll just see if we get anything more before the... Yeah, O'Hara's transfer talks break down. That's not really too much of a shock. Romero sold. A loan offer for Liu Ruofan. I shall accept that. He's certainly not going to be playing any part for me this season. We'll go just a couple more days to see if we get any bids for Mata or for Romero. It's a loan offer for James Wilson. That I will accept as well. So, as things stand, I don't want to advance much further. Well, in fact, I don't want to advance any further. Richarlison has gone to Atletico Madrid, Sanabria to Dortmund, and Roberto Firmino to Bayern Munich. So they're three players that you won't be able to suggest for me to potentially sign. But we're looking for a right mid, 2 central midfielders, and backup wing backs. I've just noticed that Alexandro's dropped a rating to 85. That's, well, we're only here for a year, so it's not going to matter that much, but it is slightly annoying. Seamus Coleman's gone down 1 more. Dallow's up to 80. Kimpembe's up to 87. And Alexandro is down 1 to 85. And it's his physicals that are taking a hit, as well as a little bit of his technicals. Okay, he's still going to be very, very, very good at left back, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. The main question is now, and you're probably screaming at me in the comments, how much have we got to spend, Chez? You have 315-ish, 310 million pounds to spend in this transfer window. This is going to be a lot of fun. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to this channel too to make sure you don't miss out on episode 2, which will be coming on Saturday. But for now, leave me your suggestions, and I'll see you next time.